back to my channel. If you're new here, I just have this channel to talk about different things that's happening online and give my opinion. And my name is Bukola, Buki, or Ramat, whichever one you call me. I'm gonna answer to you. And yes, please support my channel, like, share and subscribe. I would really appreciate all of that, helping my YouTube channel. Also today I'm going to talk about like what is trending. I'm telling you guys my own story of my own Tinder swindler. So yes, I read a lot of comments online and I saw a lot of comments that said, oh, it can never be me. Now person will get money that they scam and things like that. It could be anybody, because these people, they've mastered the art of conning people. They're super con artists. They know what they're doing, they know their praise, they know their target. And amongst many others, it could be because you're naive, you don't really have that much experience. They've talked to you and they know. Number two, you're desperate for love. Like, you know, the desperation, like, oh, I just want someone to love me, I just want to love somebody. Most times that's where they get a lot of pull, you know. So amongst many other things, you know, that they can use in scam. And it's not just all about money. People scam people in different ways. So yeah, I watched that documentary and I felt bad for the ladies that got involved, because it could have been anybody, number one, but it was just so funny how money makes the world go round. Because, you know, on a good day, these girls, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, the regular spec, I want 6 top, blah blah blah. Even if that guy had his tooth at his back, he had the money, he was dripping in designer clothes, he had a private jet, he had so many things. So that's where contentment will come into play, which I will talk about as this video goes on. Because I mean, I have like what would I call it now? I have a theme, or I have like something I say, a chant word that I always say. If I can't afford it, I would not accept it. That's used to be like, and it helps a lot with contentment. Like, you know how we have all these words of affirmation that we say every day. I feel like a lot of people should also bring that into play. If you can't afford it, you don't want to accept that thing, right? So yeah, let's go right into it. So for me, it was just a case of, I definitely didn't have that much experience, first time being in love. So I'll categorize that I'm also desperate for being loved. And like, yeah, I was just just an easy prey at the time for this particular person, right? So moving forward with my story is, I was way younger, and if this happened definitely a long time ago. I was eating at a restaurant with a friend of mine, and we saw these two guys. They were sitting like opposite from us, something like that. And then I was in the middle of my food, like eating, and one of the guys came to meet me and say, oh yeah, my friend wants to talk to you and he wants you to move to our table. And I'm like, so you expect me to like actually drop my food, pack my bags and move to your table? Like, I feel like that's like rude, and that's not nice table manner for somebody that is wanting to talk to me and all of that. So we finished our food and we were about to leave. They were also about to leave, and this guy just walks up to me and says, oh my god, you're so rude and full of yourself, who do you think you are? I told my call you and you were like, you couldn't leave your food to come. I'm like, yeah, because I was eating. You don't expect me to just drop my spoon and come to your table like that and everything. So my friend that was with me was like, oh, don't mind her, like she doesn't just like to meet people randomly and all that. She was more calm than me, because I was like really mad, like, who's this person? And then eventually they were able to get my friend's number and they offered to drop us off. I'm like, nope, I can afford my own cab. So my friend was like, okay, well, she said she's not interested, so we have to leave. So eventually on a Friday, after our Jumat service, after prayers, she was like, oh, I need to go somewhere, can you please come with me to this place? I just need to pick up 1 or 2 stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, no problem. Friday afternoon, we don't have school no more, let's go. And then we're on our way and she's like coordinating with this person. I'm like, oh, we're almost there, we're there. And I'm like, I thought you were coming to pick up some things like from your like house, like why are we here? Because and she was like, yeah, she's really sorry, but this guy has been disturbing her and they want to see me again, especially the one that was rude. He's just insisting that he wants me to come, and really, so you had to trick me here. And eventually we got there, we saw the guy, and like everybody was really friendly, and they offered me a lot of stuff, and I'm like, nope, like I don't know you guys. I'm here against my will because I didn't know I was coming to you guys' house, so I just really want to leave. But my friend was like really comfortable and gisting with them. They offered us a series of stuff, and I like but I think maybe they've talked to her like a lot about me, especially that guy that really wanted to, he has talked to my friend a lot about. So the next thing, I don't know if you guys can remember this chocolate, it's called Bon Bon. It's in a yellow wrap, and like every day of my life I eat that chocolate. Like it's always in my bag, it's in my bedroom, it's everywhere. Like I love it. So he brought out like that chocolate, and I was like, well, if you won't eat anything, at least you're gonna eat chocolate. And I'm like, okay, no problem. So I started eating this chocolate. Definitely I got more comfortable, right? With this guy, we gisted and everything was fun. I think we spent like 3 hours there because I was like, I need to leave, but we ended up out. So as we were about to leave, we were like, oh, so now that at least you know that I don't buy, you can at least let me buy you dinner and stuff. And then we were like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna. At that point, even as young as I was, I knew I wouldn't order something I couldn't pay for in case something happened. You know, I don't know, like from when we were much younger growing up, I just felt like my mom, she let us know that we needed to be content, right? Whatever they gave us. So PS, my mom and dad will probably watch this at some point. I'm just gonna apologize before I get to the part where it concerns them somehow because I never really told anybody like the story when I actually found out what really happened. Okay, so moving forward, then yeah, of course, this guy starts to call me every day. He starts to visit me in school and stuff, and yeah, everything was going great. We started dating, and then he let me know he was doing some like clothing business, like he sells clothes and stuff like that, which was okay. Like I didn't really need him to anything because I was okay from home. I always use what I got from home, you know. So eventually one day I think my mom called that my grandma was having an event, and she needed me to give her a particular amount of money, and she would send the money into my account. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, no problem. I was right with this guy at the time I received the call, and I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, well, I'm going to withdraw the cash tomorrow and go give it to my grandma, right? And I remember back in the day, we had this very long, I don't know if is it 10, no, it was longer than 10, maybe 12 or 14 digit account number that we got from the banks, and you had to save that number because you couldn't have just known it like without like looking at it somewhere, right? So I wrote it down, and you know when you save your contacts, you can like save another number underneath, and I think I saved my PIN like that. At the time, I think a lot of people actually did that. So I received that call, everything was fine, and then this guy said, oh, I'm going to go pray, and he left. He went to go pray, but as he left to go pray, I realized that my phone was kind of missing. I was looking for it, and I didn't find it. So when he came back, I was already panicked, and then when he came back, he was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I realized that I had your phone in my pocket. And that was that. Like I took my phone, went home, everything was fine. The next day I decided to go withdraw that money from my account, and my account was like saying a different balance. And I go, well, hello mom, I didn't receive that money yet because I didn't even get an alert that I got the money or anything. That so you would need to send that money ASAP if you need me to go. I was like, well, I sent it yesterday, you should go get your statement. Oh, it's urgent, she needs that money today. So my mom made another transfer and made sure that I got it. So I was able to get the money that my grandma needed and gave it to my grandma. I was looking at that statement, and I realized that somebody had withdrawn like a huge amount of money from my account, and like I didn't go here and I didn't withdraw this much money from my account. What's going on? And then I was just thinking, and well, from this guy's house there's only one bank in that vicinity, and it was this bank, and you know they will give you timestamp, and the time was just correlating to the time that he said he was going to pray. I was confused, and could he be the one to take my money? But I didn't see him take my card. Like I was really confused. I didn't know what to do, and then I'm like, I would call him to say, did you take money? And then I did, and it was like, what do you mean by that? Why would you insult me? He just said a whole bunch of stuff that's ridiculous. Why would you think I even took him? What do I need your money for? I have my business, I do stuff, and yeah, I'm coming right to your house. And then he came, he showed me this is account balance, and was like, I even have cash. Like, what do you mean? What do I need your money? And I was like, I'm so sorry, but like I thought, it was like, what are you thinking? We had a huge fight. You see the mind game that he played there, it was like really ridiculous for me, because what's going on? And then my mom was like, you gotta find out. My dad was like, you gotta find out what's happening. At that time I would cry every day. How can I miss? I changed PIN, I started to find changes with my bank details and my bank, and we moved on from that, because like I mean, my parents, we tried at the time, it was not advanced like that you would know who took your money, blah blah blah. So we moved on from it. We didn't know who took the money. At the back of my mind, I had a very strong notion that this guy took the money, but he said he didn't, and he seemed like an okay guy. Like, so why would he take my money, right? So we moved on from that, and I ended up apologizing for all that, and moving forward into the relationship. A few months after, I couldn't just see him for days and days, weeks, and then he came by my house one day and he said, you've been trying to reach me back, I don't have a phone, so you will never be able to reach me now, that. And I'm like, really? But what happened? And I was like, yeah, he doesn't have a phone right now, that's all he can tell me. So I'm like, okay, no problem. And then he will call me from call centers and be like, oh, I'll be home today if you want to come. So that's how we communicated. He will call me from call centers and tell me the duration of time you'll be around, and yeah, so we saw each other like that. And then this evening, one day, he told me, oh, he has a very urgent business call to make, he doesn't know what he's going to do, he doesn't have a phone, but he has the same, that now in case they call him, he's going to miss out on this deal for the business. And I'm like, well, you don't have to miss out, you know, you can put your SIM in my phone till I leave. Then he put his SIM in my phone. That phone, I don't know, I can't remember the number, but it was a Nokia phone. It was one of the new Nokia phones that you could play songs, take pictures. Like I remember back then when I was in school, everybody would be like, oh, can I have your phone to play music? Like it was like an in vogue phone, and my dad got the phone from, yeah, he took the phone and he put his SIM in it. And I'm like, yeah, well, until I leave this evening, I'll get my phone back. And I was about to leave when I was like, well, you've been here with me and I didn't receive that call. What if they call after you, blah blah blah? So can't you just give me your phone? What do I need your phone for anyway? Just because you're helping me for the first time, this is that. So she has said a lot of things. I'm like, okay, well, no worries, I'll go home tomorrow, I'll see you and collect my phone. That's how tomorrow turned to next week. Weeks were turning. Everybody will ask me, Bookie, where is your phone? I'm like, oh, it fell down and something happened to it, because it was a flip phone. I'm like, there's a disconnect between the flip and the phone. I was trying to give you different lots of fabu like gists, you know. And yeah, a friend of mine now had two phones, and he told me, I'm going to give you this phone. It's my dad's phone that he uses in his office, but he's not around right now. It's that Nokia Palasa phone. It's not the 3310, it's the one that came after that. And he gave me that phone, so I had a SIM. So everybody thought I had my phone with me, but it wasn't the real phone they gave me. So when school was over and this guy was about to collect his phone, I started panicking again. So I had a phone, and I started calling this guy, and I was like, oh, you now have a phone, right? I knew you will sort it out now. Daddy will buy you a new one. Can you see how he knew that Daddy would do stuff for me? He knew that I was a daddy's girl. all I needed to do was call home and it would get fixed. That was the thought he had. He didn't know I come from a different home dynamic. My dad will not just give you something new or something else if he cannot explain what happened to the other one, right? But he thought, oh yeah, since her dad gives her everything, he'll probably buy her a new phone. And I'm like, well, they didn't get me a new phone. I borrowed this phone. They're like, yeah, by the time they know that you don't have a phone, they will buy you a new phone, because right now I'm not going to be around for the next 6 months. And I cried deeply, because at that moment I knew I was being cheated. At that moment, that deep instinct I felt that he took my money, I just realized that this guy is stealing from me. Many times I would go to his house with cash in my bag too. I started thinking back, and the money will be missing, so they will steal from you. So this is how it starts. They become petty thieves, right? And they say that, oh, I'm going to target the girls that their family can cater to them, and from there they move into like, okay, yes, now if I was driving, that I would have been like, oh, I'll just drive your car for 2 days, I'll give you. That's how it grows, you know. So it can happen to anybody, and it can come in any form. And I'm pretty sure out there a girl has given a guy all these urgent. It's not only girls that need urgent 2k, in my own opinion. Some guys don't even usually need urgent 2k. They'll be like, ah, do you have 50k? Do you have 100k? I will return it. I will do this. I will do that. Some of them, they don't know where their next food will come from. They are like actually peasants. So it's so sad for these girls, because I watched the beginning of the documentary, and the first lady, she had this notion, this idea of love from Disney, you know. And up until you're big, even a mother, you'll be still wishing for that Disney. But you gotta draw yourself back and realize that Disney is somebody's fiction, it's somebody's fantasy. It is not real, you know. But nobody, I wouldn't, yeah, so I won't call my daughter to tell her that Disney isn't real, because like everybody wants to believe in that fairy tale. Everybody wants to believe that yes, there's that fantasy world, you can be loved in this way, you can be loved in this manner. So I feel like everybody has definitely had their own share of like being swindled one way or the other. I don't really know, I can't really speak much for the men unless they want to tell their stories. You can leave your comment in the comment section. Let's know if this actually happened. Like, apart from a girl taking money like willingly from, okay, like I saw this guy, I'm following him because of his reach. It can play both ways. So I don't really have stories about how men have been swindled by women and all of that. Maybe we'll hear 1 or 2 stories here and there, but if you know a story that you want to share, you can say it in the comment section, and I'll be sure to like tell the full story through my page for you, that oh yes, it happened. I mean, we'll hear 1 or 2 stories here and there, but I don't really have like a solid story that I know that anybody has for me to share here. So yes, and now let us be careful. It's not only Tinder that this thing happens on. It can happen on any dating site. It can happen from a friend's recommendation to date somebody. So it can happen anywhere. So yeah, if you've had any experience that you would like to share, you can leave it in the comment section. I usually reply my comment section as fast as possible. And for the guys, I'm waiting to hear like a story that has happened to one of your friends or one of your guys that you know that has been swindled. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's a pretty long video today, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support. Please subscribe. What did I say? Subscribe. I mean, right? Yes, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.